runs on the board here for the Rhinos.
So Ruben Trumpelman from Namibia. You wouldn't really see, he wouldn't look out of place on a rugby field, to be honest. He's all of about 6'3" and probably about 110 kilos. He is a big unit. But where he comes from in Namibia, if you asked him, would you like salad with your steak, he would ask you, what's a salad? They only eat red meat where he comes from.
Just having a look at his numbers with ball and bat. What a cricketer to have. So versatile. 4 for 21 is best in T20 internationals. An economy of a little over 7.5. Add to the runs he brings with the bat as well at a strike rate of 135. Good buy here for the Lions. Drags it on. Lions strike early. They draw first blood. And Trumpelman stars with the ball in the very first over. Rhinos on the back foot.
And it's the player he's dismissed as well. A real danger man, a threat. David Malango's first ball. So many big things expected of this left-hander from England, but today a little bit slow the surface and it finds the inside edge, and Trumpelman has the Lions on the board early on. Massive wicket, massive blow. Malan goes without scoring. It's 1 for 1.
Dev Kanal walks out once again very early in their innings. Bit of misfortune in the last game when he was run out at the non-striker's end with a deflection from the bowlers. And
yeah, if he goes up to his coach and says, Coach, how do I improve my form? I'd say to him, don't back up. Good player, Dev Kanal.
Came in close and sharp. Just managed to get his bat at the right time there. Dev Kanal, was it bat first or bat first? Looking at the toe end.
Just a little scratch. But nice swing here for the left armour. Oh, if he does not get an inside edge on that, he's walking back. He was very quick to tell the umpire as well, which, incidentally, is not a good thing either.
Settled in well, he's finding his radar this evening. Trumpelman. 42 in the last game, Deepak Bohara.
And Malan's played all around the world and he's played on many a brilliant T20 pitch, but he wouldn't have been here before. Yes, he played the one game, didn't really trouble the score as much. So the slowness of the surface takes him a little bit by surprise because he's trying to hit that off a length rather than a half volley, and it just holds in the pitch ever so slightly, which leads to the inside edge.
Good athlete is Trumpelman, good single as well. Keep talking about red ball cricket, white ball cricket. It's often said, HD, you can correct me, when you're playing red ball, you get closer to the ball. When you're playing white ball, you try getting away to create a scoring opportunity. Malan did the best thing and the right thing. But there again, when you see that dismissal, you feel he's playing very far from his body.
Yeah, if that's a red ball game, he's probably letting that through to the keeper, but because it's T20 cricket, for some reason the players don't think you can do that early on. But it is his first ball, and he would be well advised to just give himself an opportunity to get used to the pitches here in Nepal, and then he'll show us his class. So the threat here for Dev Kanal here is that Trumpelman likes to swing the ball back into the right-handers. That's his stock delivery. Now, he'll be very aware of that, and he'll want to try and keep his front pad out the way. And then Trumpelman will go across him. And that's when you can get yourself into trouble, because the feet don't move because you're worried about the LBW, and you just throw your hands at it, and there's a keeper and there's a slip in place.
There again, an inside edge maybe. He's asking good questions, probing, and a successful first over for Trumpleman. This is a great start by the Lions after winning the toss. It's 4 for 1. Yeah, the Rhinos have been on the back foot previously as well, chasing 160 odd, but their middle order certainly came to the fore. Take a look at the Lumbini Lions. Darcy Short will have a role to play with the bat and maybe his spin. Watch out for JJ Smith. He is an exceptional all-rounder. Rubel Trumpleman has made an impact. And then you have the likes of Sher Malla. I'm so excited to see him. Brings in a lot of mystery in his bowling here for the Lumbini Lions. You're all set for over number 2. It's going to be JJ Smith. Nicely played through the covers for a single. A lot of left-handers here on this line side.
I mentioned already how impressed I am with their recruitment. I mean, JJ Smith, very fine cricketer, doesn't quite have the same pace as what Trumpleman does, but he too can swing it back in to the right-hander, but he has the ability to bowl little cutters. He runs his fingers down the seam and he gets the ball to just stop in the pitch. But a genuine all-rounder who hits the ball a mile.
He'll be tempted to... Oh, yes and no. This could be close. Directed, he's gone. He survives. Suicidal. Why would you want to do it? So much of uncertainty in the batting ranks at the moment in the middle. Bowdell misses out and he knows it.
His reaction says it was close to hitting because he swoops in here from cover. It's an afterthought to go for the run. Oh, long way, long way.
The last thing Dave Cunnell wants is another run out. He was unfortunate in the last game, but this time around he would have spelled doom for himself. Meanwhile, JJ Smith, a best of 6 for 10 in T20 internationals with the ball. Inside, going to be 4, and the first 4 as well for the Chitwan Rhinos. That will also be an NCL Super 4.
I'm sure we'll see some better strokes throughout the day, because this is a little bit fortunate. The nature of the game. You bowl a good one, and someone finds a way to get the ball for 4.
Initially, if you just look back, one batter got an inside edge, crashed into the stumps. One batter gets an inside edge, it goes for a 4. They need to be careful with their running here, these batters.
Yeah, I'm just not so sure Dev Kunal actually calls for the single. I think Deepak, as the non-striker, sets off. Watch Kunal. He's happy to hang around, but he's off. Deepak's off. So there's a lack of communication there. Kunal goes late. If they go immediately, they probably get in.
Dev Cunnell, regarded as very fine, technically sound, talented batter who's translated a lot of his talent into runs. He's played 3 T20 internationals for Nepal. He's got a strike rate of 88 in that. He's really not been able to give a good account of himself. He missed out last year. This can be a very important outing for him. Yeah, gets some glove on it. Nicely done behind the stumps. Samir Ali with that effort behind the stumps.
The pitches have been good so far. in our opening 3 days, we've seen the highest score of over 220. Well, 220 on the nose, in fact. Today, this is from day one. This pitch was day one, and it's a little bit on the dry side. You might see the ball start to just take some turn a little bit later in the innings. But there's something in it for everybody. Lovely pitch.
There again. Bit of uncertainty in the running and calling. It's 11 for 1 after 2. Worth capturing, right, this image. Look at the rays coming out from behind the clouds, even at the sun's playing hide and seek, and with artificial lights as well switching on. Over number 3. That's chipped in the air. That'll be up and over. But does it have enough legs to go for a 4? He'll get a couple of runs here. That's a good hit from Deepak.
Just with the swing. I think it's going to get darker and darker. Well, it's earlier and earlier, isn't it, as we get into real winter time. Just with the little bit of swing, not as much as what we saw in the first over. We know that this poor white kookaburra, the swing disappears very, very quickly.
He bowled well this evening, HD.
Yeah, you almost felt a little bit sorry for the captain last year, didn't you? Because he played brilliantly. He was in the top 5 run scorers in the whole tournament, but they ended up finishing last on the table. And you just thought if he could get a little bit of support, he just needed a little bit of support. And that's why I'm going to say it again. I think the administrators or the management have really done well in saying, what do we require to make an impact here? And I think they've gone and done it.
Another direct hit. That's a brilliant piece of fielding behind the stumps. Sandeep Johra with that effort, and that will be referred.
Well, I think the only way this will be out is if Dev doesn't slide his bat in, or he tries to put his bat into the crease, because he looks as though he was comfortably home to me. Sandeep Johra did the fielding, and I think you're expecting big things from him again this season. He promised a little bit last season.
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. He's made it well and truly in time. Just coming back to the composition of the Lumbini Lions and the fact that you really like the composition. Are we reaching a phase, or have we reached a phase where it's all about multi-dimensional cricketers now, HD? Give me everything that you want. I'm not looking at one department, because Lions have that kind of a setup.
Well, I don't think you can be a one-dimensional cricketer anymore. I think that you've got to offer at least 2 of the 3 skills. At least. So if you can't bowl and you're a batter, you have to be a gun in the field. If you're a bowler and you can't bat, you need to be a gun in the field. You can't just be one. If you can do all 3, fabulous. I think fielding is the non-negotiable now. Every single player has to be able to field. But if you've got quality all-rounders, I've always said, what is an all-rounder? You don't want a bits and pieces player, not someone who can bowl a little and bat a little. Is that an all-rounder has a strength in one department. You think of Ben Stokes, a quality batter who will give you a certain amount of overs during the day. You think of Jacques Callis, quality batter who give you a certain amount of overs.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few Nepal cricketers as well. Karan Casey, Sompal Kami, they've emerged as very fine all-round utility players who contribute with the bat as well. Meanwhile, Deepak Bohara, he plays for the Sudur Paschim province in the under-19. He played for Nepal under-19 as well. Yeah, he's just trying to indicate. I'm sure you're not a big fan of that, HD.
I'm not, but I think it's nerves, and I think by him indicating to the umpire every time I've got an inside edge or it's slipping down the leg side, I think that tells a story about where he is mentally. You've spoken about this is a big year for him. And I think he knows it as well, hence the reason. Every time someone appeals, he's like, don't get me out, don't get me out, that's going down leg.
Another brilliant over, Trumpleman. Just the 5 runs coming off it. It's been a quiet start here for the Rhinos. 16 for 1. Nepal is a treasure trove of beauty and wonders, cultural heritage, and the warmth of the people as well. You want to keep coming back and just look at this for a sight. It has everything. If you're an adventure freak, you can do the rafting, the trekking. If you want to have the vibe, you have the Kathmandu life. And if you want to add a lot of sporting culture to your life, then the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium it is. Would you have been prompted to maybe go in with more pace? Because we're seeing spin on offer now, HD.
I think we always are. We're going to see spin because of the surface being a little bit on the dry side.
Feel the surface is slightly on the slower side.
That can also aid the team batting second as well. There's not only the dew on the outfield making the ball wet, but a little film of water can just sort of lay its head on the playing surface. Out, gone. Of course spin was going to play a role.
What a change by Rohit Paudel. What an impact here by Abhishek as well. Deepak Bohra has made a hash of that by just throwing it away. The pressure may be getting on. The dot ball percentage playing on his mind. As easy as it gets for Samir Ali. He's delighted.
Little bit of turn. Nowhere near the pitch of it. And you're right, scoreboard pressure. Goes for 10, 16 for 2.
There it is. New day, but the same story for Bopara. He'll come and have to rescue his team from a deep hole. That's his job and that's his role, and he's done it to perfection. Player of the match in the last game, 50 plus and a wicket too. His NPL career has certainly been one of the high points of Nepal Premier League. 338 runs, a strike rate close to 140, and he's just accumulating 50s, one after the other.
Very, very fine player. I just wish he was wearing a helmet. Oh, my goodness me, is this another one? They might have thrown to the end of Ravi Bopara, you know, because he was absolutely nowhere. He didn't want the one. We're going to go upstairs anyway and see if Dev has run himself out. But what is going on here?
Just wonder, you understand it is Dev's call. Yes, it's behind the wicket, but was there a single on offer over there? Bopara was in absolute no mood. Had the throw come down to the bowler's end, Bopara would be walking back. But this is going to be touch and go once again.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I mean, I know that Dev Kunal has backed up a long way and he said, I want the run, I want the run. But Bopara just wasn't really, he was almost happy that he had just knocked it away and had a look his first ball. The players are all moving back to their positions, and we haven't really even had a look yet. In. Right, so we'll turn around and say, good run.
Good run only because the throw was at the keeper's end. I wonder, had it been at the bowler's end and the stumps were broken, he was gone.
Well, Bopara's just out of frame. He's just the other side.
I tell you what, Dave Khanna was almost run out a couple of overs ago when Rohit Pawar missed one at the non-striker's end. He needs to be careful here. He was run out in the last game as well. You could sense a bit of nerves in Dave Khanna. He wants to really get going. But they're lucky here, the Chitwan Rhinos. They're already 2 down in the first 4. A couple of run-out opportunities missed here for the Lions. And he survives. Can he make it count? Yeah, nice one with the arm. We'll take a look at that previous delivery, HD.
Now watch Bopara. He's nowhere. He's halfway down, halfway. And I'm not exaggerating.
You want to be really compact and technical and conventional as a batter. But in today's day and age, you need to be contemporary as well, HD.
And Dev Kunal's feeling the heat now. 3 from 9. There's no doubt that he's feeling a little bit of pressure.
He's consumed 9 deliveries for his 3. He got to construct, manufacture. That was nicely done, only to find the fielder. What an over. This has turned out to be a run and a wicket.
Condition में 11 था तो किसान बताना होगा ड्रॉप बनी गई होने पे खत्म था वे शॉट की भी है ना
This was last year.
Sorry.
The Royals just the one loss, but they ended up losing in the final. But it was the top 2 teams that eventually got through to that final after the playoffs, and the Bolts that emerged victorious. The Lions, just the one win, and their captain was in the top 5 run scorers in the competition. So when I say stood man alone, it really was man alone.
He was practically the last man standing, didn't find support, got the bulk of the runs, but his batters just walked past and walked by and walked back to the dugout as well. Muscle man, Gulbuddin Naib. What a character, what a player as well. Great numbers once again. He'll rely a lot on those change-ups.
Gulbuddin Naib provided us with one of the great spectacles in World Cup cricket, didn't he? When Afghan coach Jonathan Trott was evidently saying to him, you need to just slow down a little bit. At which point Gulbuddin Naib was shot by a sniper and went down on he went down on the ground as if he had a pulled hamstring.
I believe he misread slow down as go down.
That's exactly what happened. We've heard Jonathan Trott on various podcasts around the world say he was trying to just get them to slow down a little bit because there was a little bit of rain around, and he was trying to work out what the DLS score was. But Gulbuddin read it as go down, and he just, from nowhere, just fell down. That was wonderful.
And this is not going to help at the moment.
And you almost want him to take a wicket, don't you? Just to see the celebration, the famous celebration from Gulbuddin Naib. There's a number of bowlers around the world. Think of Sheldon Cottrell's salute that have their specific celebration, and Gulbuddin has a good one.
Signs of aggression. Finally a release shot from the batter Bopara. He's had enough in the middle, and a much needed boundary as well coming in for the Rhinos.
The thing about Bopara is where his release shots are and where he's looking. He's never looking for a high risk area. He's wanting to go over mid-off, but it almost skews off the side of the bat because he knows there's no one on that sweeper boundary as well. So the miss hit goes away for 4.
"17 dots in the 28 deliveries bowled so far. That's not a great piece of stat." Talking about Gulbuddin Naib, I did see you greet him this afternoon with the same trademark style.
Well, I need him to know what he should aspire to look like. So I got the muscles out. Yeah, very competitive cricketer. Cool. Remember him, he actually led Afghanistan at the Asia Cup. Not the Asia Cup, the Asian Games, excuse me, a couple of years ago, and took them to the final where they did lose to India in the final. But he's a very, very fine competitor.
He's getting that ball to come in sharply. 5 runs of over number 5. It's been a very sedate start here for the Rhinos. They'll need to find a move on from here. It's 22 for 2.
Lots of smiling faces here at the TU. Not quite a full house yet. Certainly another very, very good crowd on match day number 4. Game 5 this is. As young Abhishek will continue his left arm spin, and there is spin on offer. As I wish a good afternoon or an early good evening to Fazal Khalil. Fazal, good evening to you. Lions have started well.
Well, absolutely. They need a good start to the season. They didn't have a very good season last year, so they'll really be looking to come good in this first game. If they can get Bopara out here, who's playing like an absolute pro, pick the gap to a nicety with elegance and poise.
Shot. Really special stroke. Who says that it has to be about power T20 cricket? This is right out of the textbook. A conventional, a back foot punch, no more than that. Look at the timing. It was so pure from Bopara. He is a joy to watch. And I still think for certain he's playing the best cricket of his career, despite the tender age. Make it 4 more. 40 years young he may be, but he is in the charge for the Rhinos.
Well, easy pickings for Ravi Bopara. If you think you're going to get him out bowling that line and length, that's the price that you're going to pay to a batsman of this caliber. Just rocking back, making room for himself. Slightly short, turned a little, but take a look at that. The Encel Super 4.
Better length this time, but well judged by Bopara to get the single. A really bright start from the Lumbini Lions into their new kit. I think they've recruited incredibly well. The two sides, I felt, just looking at paper, knowing the associate cricketers in particular so well. The two sides I felt that are recruited best were the Lions and the Gorkhas. JJ Smith, Ruben Trumpelman, Gulbuddin Naib and Darcy Short, all 4 of them will contribute with bat and ball. And in fact, I know you might tell me that Darcy Short will hit the biggest ball of all of them. The 2 Namibians, JJ Smith and Ruben Trumpelman, they've got all that Namibian beef in them. They hit massive balls. And they'll be handy down the order. And Gulbuddin, what a brilliant cricketer he is. One of Afghanistan's greatest ever. 6 have been bowled, power play done, 32 for 2. Well, that man there is looking to win the cool fan of the match. Love that. Okay, the power play signal to end. Power play 1 will come into overs 7 through 20 now, where 5 fielders are allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Dev Canal just struggling to get going. We all know of the young man's talent, the former Nepal under-19 captain, but he just needs to kick on now. And he starts with a plum outside the power play. He's so elegant and so pleasing on the eye. His first boundary comes in the form of that straight 6.
Well, the 69th 6 for the tournament. And it's really struck really nicely straight as a die to pick up the Siddharth Bank best 6 of the match so far.
I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on Sher Mala. Sher is, well, he's full of potential, full of promise. Hasn't quite made it up to the higher echelons yet of the national team representation, but he had a good year last year. Look at that economy rate, under 7. He's got that little bit of Sunil Narain or Sikandar Raza-esque mystery spin. He'll bowl a little bit of everything.
Well, these are the kind of bowlers who are in demand right now in the IPL as well. Little mystery spinner, as they call them. You have Sunil Narain, like you said. Varun Chakravarti is another name. So they all look at the mystery element.
Yeah, he bowls a bit of everything. Off breaks, yes, in theory will be a stock delivery, but there you saw the leg cutter. He does have a little carom ball as well, which we saw take a few big wickets last season, and also you see it there going away from the right-hander. Some pretty extravagant celebrations to go with it.
Well, if you can just pitch the ball wee forward a little bit, just bring the batsman up. Just take a look at that. Coming off the ring and the middle finger. There it is, just a little bit fuller in length. The line is good, the length is a little bit wanting. 7 done, 41 for 2.
Nice little partnership building up, just a bit of progression after a difficult and disappointing start. Big moment that for Ruben Trumpelman, knocking over Dawood Malan, who's had a tricky start to the tournament. One of the things certainly I've noticed over all the years I've been here, first coming back in 2018, we've had some very big name cricketers come to this country, and you would expect them to come in and dominate right from the off. But because of a combination of factors, number 1, the general quality of local cricket, particularly the bowlers and the fielders. Number 2, the ever-increasing standard in associate cricket. And then number 3, learning and adapting to the conditions. There's plenty of big names here in the field.
Well, I just add a number 4 to that as well. The weight of reputation. The amount of expectation they come here with could also be one of the contributing factors. Lovely, beautifully struck this. There is a man go straight to him. Wicket number 3. Error of judgment there. Perhaps a little bit of adrenaline flowing. 3rd wicket down now for the Rhinos.
Yet again, it's another local left-arm spinner. Sundeep Jora is an outstanding fielder. Remember that run out in the T20 World Cup qualifier, how important that was. It was there to be hit, but he's picked out the man, well, really with precision. Jora did not move, and he's never going to drop that. Abhishek, only 4 appearances last year for the Lions, but he started season 2 so brightly. Canal is going to be so disappointed because he had a start. He's gone for 14. It's 43 for 3. Well, here he comes, the skipper of the Chitwan Rhinos, Kushal Malla, with that trademark swagger and confidence. Very special young man, this man. Came in for an awful lot of criticism through that T20 World Cup qualifier run. And he's dealt with it. Continue to be so impressed by his captaincy, his leadership. He has a lot of gravitas. Had a bit of a chat with him alongside Ravi Bopara after the post-match presentation a couple of days ago. He was talking to Kushal about his dismissal, where he got to 20 odd, looked really good, and then looked for a big hit off the seam bowler, misjudged the line and length, and nearly spooned it up to long on. And as I was talking to him about that, Ravi Bopara said, Kushal, your strength is dominating the spinners. Pick your deliveries to hit. And that's a lovely little indication of what this Nepal Premier League is about. Young Nepalese cricketers learning from players like Ravi Bopara, who've been all around the world. Talking to Ravi, he thinks Kushal Malla is incredibly, extremely talented.
Yes, that's the point that I was trying to make, even with somebody like the youngster Dev Kanal who got out. Play with the seasoned pro. He's going to help you tide through those tough moments, tough times. There it is. If he can just play along with the pro, you learn so much. That's the kind of insight he will give Bopara. 8 done, 40.
Sun just starting to set here. We're creeping into the magic hour. And yet again, we've another mascot holding up play. Need to teach these mascots about walking by the side screen. This time it's Mr. Gaida. What are you doing, big man? Get out of the way. Maybe he couldn't see because of the Rhino horn out the front. Really nicely bowled. Okay, he's back for his second season. Jess Crow is with Sohail Tanvir.
That's right, I'm joined here at the boundary by Sohail Tanvir. Sohail, the team are 45 for 3. What do you make of the performance so far?
The pitch looks on the slow side. It's gripping, so I think it was bad toss to lose. But I think if we manage to score around 150, it's going to be a good fight. I mean, you need something to fight on, you know. We saw the game last night. I mean, it was close. He's managed to score 145. So, yes, right now we're not in a good position, but we'll try to finish around 140 mark.
Of course, and taking a crucial wicket last match yourself. How did you find the wicket was playing?
I think better than last year, I'll be very honest. I mean, they left a bit of grass on it. I mean, it's not lively green grass, but still it's hold the pitch together, so there's not much turn this time. I mean, last year it was turning, square turning, and it was difficult for the batters. But this time around, I think it's good pitch to bat on, and if you're a smart bowler, you have something in the pitch.
Of course. And now, you know, you play cricket all over the world, but how was it playing cricket here in Nepal?
Well, obviously, what makes Nepal different than other countries, it's just the craze of people. I mean, they're so passionate about cricket, and they follow cricket wherever the Nepal team goes. I've seen the glimpse, I mean, I've seen the clips, wherever their team go. Even I remember when they were playing in World Cup in USA, there was huge crowd, you know, and then there was a tournament in Australia in August, and the fan following is everywhere. So, you know, I mean, when you, as a player, when you see jam-packed crowd, I mean, that turns you on.
Of course, that's going to be my next question. What's it like playing, you know, in front of this huge crowd, always making noise? Is it good, you know, energy for you out there?
Well, obviously, it depends. I mean, some players takes energy out of it, and some players, you know, go back into the shell, you know. So it depends on the individual.
Of course. Well, all the best for the next innings.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Great to hear those thoughts from Sohail Tanvir raving about that Nepal crowd at the T20 World Cup last year. That was in Dallas in Texas. It was a sea of blue and red across the Grand Prairie Stadium. And I did meet Sohail Tanvir the other day. I said, Sohail, you're not allowed to retire as long as we want you to keep coming. He said, I'll keep coming back. I love it here in Nepal. Really good over that from Sharmala. As we heard the thoughts of Sohail Tanvir, just 3 singles from it. It's 48 for 3. Well, difficult going thus far, but at least they're only 3 down, the Rhinos, and still safe Zabe to come. Remember, Zabe opened the batting last year for the Sudapashim Royals, been asked to play this new role down the order. Here's Darcy Short, who starts, well, with the perfect leg break. He probably does a bit too much, though, and no real appeal. He's a talented wrist spinner, this man.
Well, every time the ball is pitched up, Ravi Bopara has been in trouble, and when it turns a little, he gets deeper in trouble. So right now, the Rhinos are staring down a little bit of a rabbit hole, and if they don't want to go deeper into that, it's up to these 2 gentlemen out there, Bopara and Kushal, to take them out of that rut.
Like every good Australian wrist spinner, 23 on the back, of course. That tribute to the late, great Shane Keith Warren. I don't think there's a day goes by in cricket we don't think about King himself and Higgins.
Well, I thought they had retired that number, hadn't they?
Yeah, look, I think for Australia, for the national team, yes, but a little tribute from Darcy Short to Shane Warne. Of course, the Ashes just around the corner. Looking forward to seeing the action of that.
Absolutely, just waiting for it to start, and then you have the India-South Africa test match starting as well.
Who do you fancy for the Ashes? Which of the 2 teams?
Putting me on the spot, aren't you? Well, they're playing at home. Well, the heart says England, but the head says Australia. So I think I'll go with the Thunder from down under.
I love the fact that every single Ashes series, whatever happens, Glenn McGrath just predicts 5-0. It's kind of part of the whole narrative of each build-up.
Well, it's much like the way the 50 coming up. It's much like the way any Indian would when India play a series at home.
South Africa rather humbled the Indian side on home soil there at Eden Gardens, 1-0 up in the series. I wish that was 3 test matches. Out of the back of the hand, so trying to go across the right hander. Really good over from Darcy Short. His all-round skills will be big for the Lions this season, you feel. And he started well. The Rhinos, they're rebuilding. They're not necessarily doing it as quick as they need to. It's the halfway stage of the first innings. It's time for the players to take a drink. The score is 51 for 3.
We are coming to you live from the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. As always, a lot of colour, vibe, energy in this part of the world. NPL Season 2 is underway, and they're really enjoying every bit of it on top, and their fans are quite certainly celebrating, Fazal.
Absolutely. And they've come here really to support respective sides. Here, the Rhinos. This is what happened. First ball duck for David Malan. And this was a rush of blood. Deepak departed, and then they were in a bit of trouble. But that was the third one to go. Dave Canal hold out the man at cow corner. And 51 for 3. Their main batsman out there, Ravi Bopara, 21 of 25. He's just biding his time. He's priming himself for another good innings, Mikhail.
It's been an age-old story, Fazal. The heavy lifting is done by Bopara and a couple of other batters in the middle order. Good enough for Rhinos, they have Saif Ali Zay, but last year we distinctly remember Bopara just coming and rescuing his team every now and then.
Easy one.
You just take a look at it. Every time that the bowler has pitched short, Bopara has made him pay. But the minute they pitch the ball up, seems to be in a spot of bother. So mentally, Bopara is already on the back foot, considering that the pitch is really good. The odd ball is turning a little, Mikhail. That's perhaps because we're just in the 4th day. It's just a little drier than it was the last couple of days. So it's just going to get a little slower here. You want to make him come forward. You want to make him drive down the ground. Hit the 6 over, long off and long on. Now just take a look at that. Every time he's pitched short, he's been in control.
Further, just speaking on behalf of the bowler, is the bowler a bit circumspect about just getting too full in that delivery of his, and that's why he's trying to keep it slightly back of the length and invariably ending up bowling in that back of the length short delivery region.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Mikhail. You're absolutely right with that. That's why the captain comes and plays a role. Give the confidence to the youngster. There it is once again. The minute you pitch it up, the batsman is circumspect. But when you pitch it short, it gives a lot of time to rock back and play him through the offside. And that's where Bopara is scoring over someone like Shermala. That's the illustration again. The minute you pitch short, becomes really easy because it's not quick, this wicket. It comes slow off the wicket, gives the batsman ample time to rock back and decide where he wants to play it, to the left of cover or to the right of cover. And there it is. You can see that he's a little circumspect once the ball is pitched up.
Once again, enough time to pick his spot through at the bowler's end. He'll get there comfortably and keep strike as well. Ravi Bopara. 11 gone, 56 for 3. Scenic Nepal and quality cricket, having a mix of everything. A bit of a misfield here will allow the batters to come back for the second, and Bopara will keep strike. Just a bit of a concern here, Fazal, a bit of a hustle in that batting process. They've had 32.
Well, yes, I think Ravi Bopara has kind of analyzed the pitch. In his mind, he knows what the score is that he's looking for after 20 overs. To get that score, he needs to be there till the end of those 20 overs, Mikhail, because the pitch is not like the ones we've played on. It's very slow. It's turning a little. So 180, 175 is out of the question. Now we're looking at 9 runs and over from here. We'll get them to 137. I think anywhere between 137 and 150 will be a really good score on this pitch. It's not going to be easy. Even at 140, it's not going to be easy to chase on this pitch unless the dew plays a factor, which we haven't seen in the last couple of games.
Good point, Fazil. 147 was defended by Sudhir Paschim Royals last night, which means the dew factor didn't really have an effect on the fielding side when they were defending a total. Another high point for the Lions is that in the 12 overs they've used 6 bowlers already, so they have a lot of depth and options here.
There, once again, you see Ravi Bopara at 6s and 7s when you pitch the ball up. That's where shot needs to be. Just outside that off stump, make him drive forward, and that's where he's a little circumspect. That was the wrong gun, the one that went the other way. This will come back into him. As soon as you pitch shot, he's comfortable on that back foot.
I think not a bad time for Rohit Paudel to attack. Maybe bring in a slip for a Darcy shot.
Well, oh, gorgeous, isn't it? Just take a look at that shot. The drone showing you this magnificent ground at the TU International Cricket Ground. Wasn't like this 12 months ago, I was told. Mikhail, you were here, and now they've really done well. Fetching that from outside the off stump, that'll go all the way. A release shot, breaking the shackles is Kushal Malla, the skipper. 76s for the tournament so far. End of the over, 67 for 3.
Good boundary coming off that last delivery of the last over. Back live, Bopara is holding fort. Malla may have decided that he'll shift gears. Who's in the driver's seat at the moment? I just wonder.
Well, he's in the balance at the moment. What they do from here on, both the sides will determine the fate of the game. 67 for 3 with Bopara there. You'd want to believe that he will get them to that score of 140 or 145, which in my opinion is par for this pitch today, unless again the dew comes into play, which we haven't seen in the last 3 days. But if they can get Ravi Bopara out now, then the Lions will certainly be back in it, because they have to score every run. A run conceded is a run that needs to be scored.
I reckon this is an event over. That been put down. Sher Malla, his reaction tells the story. You need to take these catches off your own bowling.
Yes, I don't think he was really expecting it. The skipper won't be a happy man. Rohit Paudel, just hitting it back. Oh, that's an absolute clanger. He's dropped a lollipop, Mikhail. You would have taken that with your eyes closed.
One-handed, Fazil.
And eyes closed.
Another one to go through. Sher Malla needs to keep it tight.
There you see once again, just coming on to him a little quicker than he expected. Perhaps he didn't expect it to come to him. That was the key thing. But this man on your screen holds the key for the Rhinos. We saw him get that 50 in the first game. Oh, that was just too close and too full to cut.
Yeah, there it is, beauty. The Umora and Jeko, Nepal's fastest growing EV brand, which provides best in segment range, ground clearance, and spare tire with top safety features. Of really enjoying our drives all around Nepal, particularly from the hotel to the ground. And that's chipped in there, that'll be safe. Work to do for the field, and the deep does exceptionally well to keep it in play. They'll get 2 runs here, the Rhinos.
End of the over, 13 done. 71 for 3.
Well, as this game is progressing, the seats are filling in as well. Great atmosphere. It's a sea of colour, the Chitwan University International Cricket Stadium. Rohit Paudel, the Nepal captain, has a lot of admirers and fan base. Gulbuddin into the attack. Oh, they're pushing for two. One for the shot, one for the throw.
Well, they've done a good job right now. 29 of 34. And I love those. I really do. Dhaka Topis. Andrew Leonard was kind enough to give me one. And take a look at that. The Chobar Hills. How good is that? That's in the background. And as you come towards the foreground, you have this magnificent Tribhuvan University and this international ground there. Fabulous visuals there. And thank you to some great camera work.
Yeah, it's a great place to be in. Scenic, beautiful, treasure trove, great destinations. If you're an adventure freak, be it the culture, be it the heritage, Nepal welcomes you with open arms. I love coming over here, Fazal, and I'm sure you're enjoying every day of your stay over here.
Well, absolutely. Every Nepali will be proud of what you're seeing on the screen and what's happening on the ground. Really big moment. And that's a big moment for the Chitwan Rhinos. Bopara now turning on the heat. 89, 94s. And a little smile from her will really add to the flavor of the evening. There it is, just rocking back. He's really good on anything pitch shot, back of the hand, slow delivery there. Pick the gap to perfection. Real precision play by Bopara. He's assessed the situation really well. He's assessed the pitch really well, and he knows exactly what this pitch needs in terms of runs.
You spoke about the Nepal cricket fan, they pride over their cricket, they're emotional about their cricket, and they're well informed as well. I see a lot of handles on Twitter, Facebook pages, they have some great discussions. The acceptance, the passion is just unreal.
Well, absolutely. I was just walking by with Andrew Leonard around the ground before after we finished the pre-show, and then we were coming back into the commentary box, and he seemed to be a couple of runs, and Andrew Leonard seemed to have a huge fan base here. Everyone was asking him to you know, come there, shake his hands, take a photograph, and he was so kind enough to acknowledge everyone and keep every one of those fans happy. Really warm people here in Nepal. Paras Katka, the secretary of Nepal Cricket Association, be really proud and happy man to just see this crowd in the middle of the week.
Good over this for the Chitwan Rhinos, 9 coming off it. It's 80 for 3.
Well, I really like these, Mikhail. Need to get a couple more before I go back to Bangalore in India. Get those Dhaka Topis. It's the pride of Nepal, isn't it? Just take a look at that. It adds to the flavor. It adds to the character. What a place this Nepal. Kathmandu has really treated us well. Looking forward to coming here season after season.
Good start to the over, good running here. They'll have to really shift gears. Something has to give now for the Rhinos. They've been quiet for a very long time. Just the 2 6s and 5 4s. And we are into the 15th over, Fazal.
Well, at 7 and over, they'll get 122. They'll need a little more than that. This is the time when Ravi Bopara will be looking to break the shackles. Probably between 15 and 20. There it is. Missed out opportunity. Bowlers have bowled short. He's been fierce on them. missing out at the opportunity on this occasion is Ravi Bopara. He's taken his time, 37 or 40, so he needs to finish off well. They'll be anxious, but they know what the pitch is playing like. So I still feel 140 to 145 will be par on this pitch, Mikhail. We did see HD mentioning that it is a little dry in nature, and I get the feeling that he was absolutely spot on, because the ball seems to be gripping a little, turning a little, and that makes it really difficult when you're chasing a score down. We saw 147 being defended yesterday, so no reason why it can't be done again this evening.
Yeah, spirited Sudur Paschim Royals last evening. They were just spectacular in the field. And I ideally want to believe Malla is the more attacking option over here, but Bopara may just be thinking that I'll have to take matter into my own hands now. This is not really going to help the Rhinos.
The Lions will be happy. 41 or 44 the partnership. They've got things under control, so they recognize as well, if you see the way they've been bowling the spinners through the main and middle part of the innings. So they recognize that pace off the ball is the way to go on this pitch.
Nicely cut away. They'll have to come back to the second, and they'll do that. But still the runs, the big hits are missing here for the Rhinos. 6 coming off over number 15. Expect some big hitting in the remaining 5. It's 86 for 3.
Real building blocks here for the Rhinos. Can they explode in the final 5 and drive up towards maybe 140, 150? They're going to have to go at double digits. They'll need more than 10 runs per over. Mr. Guida's there to cheer his side on. What can the Rhinos surge up to? Need a stampede of runs here as Trumpelman returns for his 3rd over. The big Namibian. Do this often in his 2nd spell, come around the wicket to the right-handers. Andrew Leonard here with you. Delighted to have HD Ackerman alongside me. Just the one stint for us today, HD. This could be a good one though. I reckon the Lions, even though they played very well, they could be on the back end of some big hitting now in the last 5.
Well, I think they need some fireworks. I know there's a little bit of turn in the surface, but when you're in that region of that 130 mark, it doesn't put enough pressure on the chasing side.
To the leg side, fielder there, straight to him. And for the 2nd time in 2 games, he's been dismissed, trying to take on a quick, caught in the deep. Ruben Trumpelman, brilliant start to his NPL career. A very shrewd signing for the Lumbini Lions.
He's a very powerful striker of the ball, Kushal Malla. But this one doesn't find the middle of the bat, finds that man in the deep. I mean, he didn't have to move an inch. Sort of a cutter bowled into the surface, which just stops a little bit. So the skipper, and he goes for 21. The Rhinos are 87 for 4.
Dakatopes are on these young men. It's going to be a sea of Dakatopes come Saturday. Dhaka Topi Day for our first Super Saturday is the talk. Everybody being asked to come along in the national headwear. Saif Zaib in this new role. He opened for the Suda Prashim Royals last year, down at number 6. Player of the tournament, player of the season last year. Difficult position to come in. The Lions have bowled, and generally, with the exception of that one drop, fielded really well. This is why he's here.
Yeah, just think this middle order is being put under tremendous pressure because of what's happening at the top at the moment. I mean, I know they've got some good players at the top, but they just haven't fired yet. So when you walk to the wicket in positions 4, 5 and 6, you just feel as though you're behind the 8 ball.
Well, that young man loving every second in the crowd, isn't he? Great to see the passion. Oh, that's a very good cricket shot. Little race to the rope, just one bounce and 4. Gave Trumpleman the charge and got it intentionally up and over Darcy Short at backward point. Starts with a boundary.
He's very aware of where the boundary riders are, Saif Zaib. He uses the pace that Trumpleman gives him.
This man is an exceptionally good cricketer, I have to say. And I think he's approaching the peak of his career. From talking to Ravi Bapara just a few days ago after his player of the match performance, he thinks the world of young Saif Zaib. 4 more toying with Trumpleman now. First one through the offside, this one through the leg.
Well, his introduction to the crease has signalled the intent now that the Rhinos are going to get a move on. Again, inventive. He's got all the authentic cricket strokes. He's got a little bit of invention as well.
He was deep in the crease this time intentionally to try and pick up the pull shot, but just kept maybe a fraction low. End of the 16th, it is a wicket taking over. 95 for 4. Crowd really building up now. That festival atmosphere we're going to see every day of this Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League is very much in town again. Just match day 4. Feels like we've been here for weeks, HD already. As Papara goes down the ground, gone all the way. 100 comes up in real style. And Darcy Short just floating that wrist spin out. Papara, I think he's going to start to go through the gears now.
It's too full from Short. Anything in that region, he's going to go straight down the ground. If these two are here at the 20 over mark, at the conclusion of the innings, I'll tell you what, they'll be near that 150 mark comfortably. That's how dangerous they are. But for the Lions, if they can knock one over and open up an end, I know there's still some batting to come, but they'll almost feel, hang on, 130, 135 is on for us to chase.
Remember, Arjun Saud is being asked to perform a role he's not used to. He always opens the batting, being used down at number 7. Sohail Tanvir and Kamal Singh Airi, and indeed the one changed to the side, Amar Singh Ratella, all capable with the bat, but this is the critical partnership for the 5th wicket. Cannot bowl there to Ravi Bapara. It's 50, and it comes up in the grandest of styles, the second maximum of the over. This man, he is like.
चले गाइस, चितवन टीम की अगर बात की जाए 109 रन हो चुके 4 विकेट के नुकसान पर। तो गाइस यार बोलना पड़ता है आपको यार, स्टार बेस के सपोर्ट जरूर करें, क्योंकि आपका सपोर्ट ही है वो हमें कुछ फ़ायदा ज़रूर होता है जब आप सपोर्ट करते हैं। तो भैया देखो, अपने पास 10 दिन है और 10 दिन में अगर जितना आप सपोर्ट करोगे इस महीने में मुझे पेमेंट मिलेगा, ठीक है गाइस। तो रवि बोफारा 52 रन बना दिए। रवि की अगर बात करें बोफारा की, तो तो प्लीज़ यार एक छोटा सा भाई समझ के या दोस्त समझ के आप सपोर्ट करें। प्रॉब्लम ज़रूर आता है गाइस, यहाँ पे आप सभी को बताएं। अगर आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कहीं से भी कि हाँ यार कुछ गड़बड़ है तो कमेंट करके ज़रूर बताएं गाइस। और उम्मीद करता हूँ ये मुकाबला बहुत बढ़िया हो, शानदार मैच आप सभी को देखने को मिलेगा गाइस। क्योंकि नेटवर्क दिक्कत आपको आ सकता है, अगर ये प्रॉब्लम आए तो मुझे ज़रूर बताना। कुछ चेक करना पड़ेगा ब्लैक बैक चेक करता हूँ गाइस, कुछ रिस्पॉन्सिबल अगर प्रॉब्लम हो तो ज़रूर बताऊँगा आप सभी को। वैसे नेटवर्क दिक्कत आएगा ज़रूर बताऊँगा गाइस। नहीं अभी तक नेटवर्क दिक्कत नहीं है, एकदम सही चल रहा है। देखो पूरा एनपीएल आपको मिलेगा, पूरा एनपीएल में आपको कुछ भी दिक्कत नहीं आएगी। बस आपको क्या करना है, स्टार भेजकर सपोर्ट करना है। जितने भी लोग जुड़े ना, कोई 5 स्टार, कोई 10, कोई 50, 100 करके ऐसे आप स्टार भेज के सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। और बार बार बोलना भी अच्छा नहीं लगता है। जितने भी नेपाल के फैन जुड़े हैं ना, क्योंकि मेरे अच्छे फैन हैं, उनको मैंने अभी तक आईपीएल भी दिखाया है और नेपाल के सभी मैच दिखाए हैं। ठीक है गाइस, थैंक यू गाइस, लव यू यार। जो भी बंदा सपोर्ट करे स्टार भेजकर जरूर सपोर्ट करे। लव यू गाइस।
Fair enough, but you cannot afford to be right underneath the batter's nose.
Oh dear. Well, that is a googly gone wrong, and it's going to go many a mile up into the stands. This partnership is changing the game, and the Rhinos coming very much back into the picture. The over's gone for 21. It's 116 for 4. Biggest over of the innings, and just a slight step, you would have to say. I know it's easy in hindsight. Darcy Short had bowled 3 overs for 20. He'll finish with the figures of 4 overs, none for 41. And that last ball, well, it was a bit of a horror show. Reminds me of me at my peak. Lumbini hammered into the leg side. Good piece of fielding. Excellent from the skipper, who saves 2 runs. Promise you one thing, HD, I bowled thousands of these in my career.
Just wondering how close that was to a no ball from waist high. It was bad enough. Didn't have to bowl another one. And Lumbini won't bowl many Yorkers. He's more he bowls out the back of the hand and some cutters. That's what he tends to do at the death more often than not.
Great thing was in Irish cricket when you bowled some of them, more often than not, deep square leg, or deep wicket ended up underneath it. It said wicket in the book.
Well, sometimes for the wrist spinners, they bowl great ball after great ball, miss the outside edge, miss the inside edge, so they almost deserve their wicket off a full toss.
Pulled away into the gap, but not going to be with enough power to get to the rope. This partnership is changing the game. You can feel the momentum shift right now. Shades of yesterday's clash with the impact that Harmeet Singh had for the Royals.
I keep glancing at our little screen here with the mini bowling card, and Abhishesh 2 for 15 in 3. JJ Smith's going to end up bowling only 2 overs if he bowls the last over, because you would think that Lumbini will bowl the last one from the current end that he's bowling at. So yeah, that Darcy Short over.
Then he goes pace on. He thinks this one is out. Is there a tickle? No, says the umpire. Yeah, the umpiring was really under the microscope yesterday. It was a tough evening for the men in black. I didn't hear anything in my ear. Was there a feather of an edge?
The old creaky bat handle. Don't hear anything. Keeper wasn't convinced either.
We all know about Gulbadi Naib's acting skills, of course, for those who remember. through the offside. Going to be a challenge for JJ Smith right in front of our commentary position. Oh, they've nearly collided, the two batters, but they will get home for two. I greeted the Lions on the outfield, particularly Trumpleman and JJ Smith, two guys I know very well. And Gulbini Naib, I do a lot of Afghan cricket, so I know him pretty well too. He looked at me and he said, "You see that hole in your commentary window? I will hit a bigger one in there."
If JJ Smith gets hold of it, the commentary position is not under threat. It'll fly over here. He hits the ball a very, very long way.
One of the great taglines in world cricket, Smith can hit. Can Ravi Bopara hit? Just enough. It sums up the way that Bopara's 2025 is going. Everything going his way. Great effort from Sundeep Jura at long on. He needed to be 6 or 8 inches taller.
How often can Ravi Bopara do this for the Rhinos? 18 gone, 128 for 4.
A 41-run partnership, forget about that. Look at the number of deliveries, just 16. The game swinging towards the Rhinos. And maybe some old habits, some thoughts of bad times last year for the Lumbini Lions. I know they've got new players in, coming back to haunt them. Big final 2 overs these. Trumpleman, for me, has been the pick of the bowlers with his 2 for 16, alongside young Abhishek, who's got 2 for 15. This is an important over, this one. Sliced away and taken. Oh, excellent catch. It's Rohit Paudel. He is a quite magnificent fielder. And we're going to see brilliant fielding throughout this MPL. One of the highlight moments thus far. It goes to the captain of the national team and the captain of the Lions.
How do you turn a game in your favour? You take a catch like that. The composure to just knock it up in the air to give Trumpleman another one. That is a spectacular catch from the captain. Safe save goes for 15. He doesn't often fail. It's 128 for 5.
Here comes a man full of charisma, the diminutive figure of Arjun Saud. He's had a tricky 18 months, to be honest. Was given lots of opportunity for the national side up at the top of the order. Monty Desai in particular likes a lot of this young man, former national team head coach, but those opportunities have gone out the window. He needs a big NPL to get himself back into the mix. He's doing it in the most difficult of positions, down at number 7. Starts brightly. That'll hit the boundary rope in a flash. It's a shot he always likes, the cut shot, Arjun Saud. That's a good way to make an impression down at number 7.
From around the wicket, this is the last place that Trumpleman wants to be hit, behind point. Normally you are cramming the right-hander for room, but there's plenty of wrist work there in that stroke. Does exceptionally well to get the ball down to deep point for 4. The perfect start for Saud.
Well bowled, forced into the block hole. We haven't seen a world-class spectacular catch in the first 3 days of the Nepal Premier League. I think we've just seen one. Rohit Paudel, for me, one of the top 3 fielders in the country, probably one of the top 5 in this league. Sensational.
I can think of many who would have been doing somersaults after taking this, but Paudel just gently throws it back to the umpire. That is a great catch, made look very easy.
Great diving stop, excellent. Lumbini Naib, he saved 3 runs, misses the block hole. Yeah, the brilliance of this catch for me, HD, is he is intentionally palming this up, isn't he? He knows what he's doing in that split second.
If he doesn't, he probably it bursts through his fingers. So he does exceptionally well just to palm it up, and then the second attempt is just a simple catch, but the composure to be able to do that is quite exceptional.
Pace off, very well bowled. H, where did you used to field, and how sharp do the reactions have to be? You literally have a split second here.
Well, I didn't feel there. That was reserved for the likes of Herschel Gibbs. Yeah, it's just a brilliant catch. No, I was one of the old men. I stood at slip. That was it. And then walked to the other side and stood at slip, and then walked back again and stood at slip.
I'd say particularly when you captained, that was you never even moved. Ooh, a little bit extra on that one from Trumpelman. I think he's bowled with real pace this evening. It's a fantastic over and a fantastic set of 4. 3 for 23 for the big man with those broad shoulders. 135 for 5. Beautiful golden hue here in Kirtipur. There's glorious Chowar Hills across to our right. The sun has disappeared. As Lumbini Naib it will be to bowl the final over this first innings. Real surprise for me, JJ Smith's only bowled the 1. He looked good out there, and he's had a fantastic year for Namibia with the ball. They do have a strong batting lineup, the Lions. If they can close this innings out, particularly keeping him under 150, they'll fancy their chances.
Yeah, a lot of big hitters within their side now, but I still think Rohit Paudel in a chase like this is going to have to play a big part. Control the run chase, a bit like Bopara does.
Taken straight to the man and well held. Lumbini Naib did such a good job. I think again it's back of the hand, slower ball. Bopara fought ably, did turn the game somewhat, but the very latter overs are belonging to the Lions.
Ordinarily, you would think this is a horror delivery, but it is because there's so much pace taken off it that Bopara has to wait and wait and wait, and then he just helps it round the corner. And it's a good catch by Nath at short fine leg. But another fine innings from a very fine player. Bopara goes for 66. It's 136 for 6.
Sohail Tanvir. Oh, inside edge, otherwise, and that could have been 2 and 2. You get off the mark. He's a canny customer, isn't he? A very clever operator, Gulbini Naib. I thought it was back of the hand at first. I think it's actually the leg cutter.
Yeah, he's got the back of the hand, he's got the leg cutter, and he's got the off cutter. As mentioned a bit earlier, he doesn't really go Yorker length. It's the 3 variations, yes. That's definitely the leg cutter.
Leg cutter again. Clothed towards long off. Jura won't be able to get in there in time. I do feel a bit for Arjun Saud. I think every single game I've ever seen him play, he's batting 1, 2 or 3. He's actually done a decent little job at number 7. Completely different skill set you need.
And I don't think even though Milan has got off to a fire, I still think they'll carry him, but Dev Kunal will come under pressure with someone like Arjun Saud in the side.
Again, just no pace to work with. Tanvir hacks it into the leg side, and oh! After you, sir, says Sher Mala. Both of them could have got there, neither of them did.
There's apologies all around. Now, I know the Nepalese are just lovely, lovely people, but the sign of a quality fielder is someone who said, that ball is mine. I want the ball, you get out the way. But don't sort of say, well, do you want it? I don't want it. Do you want it? And eventually it goes for 4.
Yeah, Dinesh Adhikari and Sher Mala have had a moment to forget there. He bowled really well. Sher Mala only went for 21 in his 4 overs, but I don't think he'll want to see that replay this evening. Definitely a couple of runs given away. Here comes the final ball of the first innings. What can Sohail Tanvir do with it? Straight to Sandeep Jura, long on, never dropping that. So Naib has 2 wickets in the final over, and despite a resurgence in the final 5, overs 15 to 18 in particular, that big over from Darcy Short, the last 2 overs of the innings have belonged to that side, the Lumbini Lions, and they'll be the happier of the 2 teams at the halfway stage.
And that's what the Lions would have always been saying to themselves while Zaib and Bapara are at the wicket, is that if we dismiss one of these or both, the innings can fade away. And that's exactly what happened. While they were at the crease, 160 was certainly on. But after the dismissal of both of them, it's only 142 for 7. That's the not out batter, Arjun Saud. But Sohail Tanvir is the man that goes for 5. But 142 for 7 is competitive. But I would imagine the Rhinos have got to bowl exceptionally well if they're going to defend this.
I thought it was a well-captained innings, apart from that one little misstep of an over too many for Darcy Short, but it's easy for us to say that after the matter of fact that it's happened. Again, it was Ravi Bapara carrying the hopes of the Rhinos. Saif Zaid played very elegantly as well when he came to the crease, but he was dismissed by a most wonderful catch, the catch of the tournament thus far by Rohit Paudel. And a big mention for the youngster in his early 20s, part of that army of left-arm spinners that are here in Nepal, Abhishesh Gautam. He bowled very elegantly. Partnerships, well, it was really all about that one for the 5th wicket. 41 came off 17. Too many dot balls, particularly in those first 3 efforts where both Deepak and Dev Kunal struggled to get going. Bowlers HD, who stood out for you?
Well, Trumpleman's 3 for 23 has got to be the pick of them. I thought that JJ Smith was a little bit unlucky only to bowl the 1 over, but that tends to happen sometimes when you've got a whole heap of options. Gulbini Naib, who bowled so well effectively at the back end. Don't be fooled by those figures. He bowled 2 very good final overs.
Yeah, and a word too for Sher Mala. Very economical with his mystery spin. Okay, let's get some immediate match reaction. I think West Crow has Ruben Trumpleman down with her.
I'm joined here mid-innings by Ruben Trumpleman. Ruben, incredible figures for yourself. 3 for 23, including the dismissal of destructive Ravi Bapara there. What was it like out there?
Yeah, I really enjoyed our first game out here. I think as a team we wanted a fast start, and we got that. Excellent power play from the boys, and hope we can take the momentum into the next innings.
Now bowling at the death, including taking a wicket there as well. Is there any pressure that comes with that?
Yeah, I think you must embrace it, enjoy it, and make the most of it. If you don't do it, you're going to be in trouble.
Of course. And now, debut at the NPL. First time here in Nepal, I can only presume. How has it been so far?
Yeah, enjoying Nepal. I'm actually my third time here, so I've been around, so really enjoying it. Lovely people, friendly people, and hopefully can see a bit more of the city.
Wonderful. And chasing, a score of 1-4-2. Confident?
Yeah, I think I'm backing the boys to get the first one over the line, hopefully get the win and get momentum going.
Great stuff. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Very much. Back to comms.
Thank you, Jess, and thank you to Ruben Trumpleman as well. Great to see you back in Nepal. You've represented Namibia with brilliance here on tours before, and he got things going with that wicket of Dawid Malan, who looked pretty disappointed to say the least. There was mix-ups, there could have been a direct hit run out. Powdell was off celebrating. Rare that he would have missed that. Bahara struggled before he was dismissed. A clever piece of bowling. Abhishek pulling things back. But then it was all about Ravi Bopara, who started to rescue the innings. Dev Canal did hit that 1-6 down the ground, but then you can see the tracker on this ball there. It was straight at the man, Sundeep Jura.
I don't think that Powdell can ask anything more of his bowling unit. They bowled really well on a surface that's still aiding the spinners. There's a little bit of turn out there. There was so much for Bopara and Kushal Mala and Saif Zaib to do. And just for a moment, you thought that they were going to get to that 160 mark, particularly after Bopara raced past his half century. That was a horror delivery from Darcy Short, his 4th over, going for all of 21 after bowling 3 tidy overs. The catch of the match from the skipper, and the innings just tended to fade away from here.
Yeah, and credit to both Gulbali Naib and Ruben Trumpleman for the way in which they bowled at the death. This was the rather comedic moment where they left it, and then the 3rd catch that Sundeep Jura took on the evening. He's a really impressive fielder himself. That run out in Oman will still live long in the memory. Beautiful scenes here in the Kathmandu Valley under these floodlights. That wraps it up for the first innings coverage. We'll be back with all the action in the second innings. Can Kushal Mala's Chitwan Rhinos make it 2 from 2? To do so, they'll need 143 to win. Welcome back to beautiful Kirtipur. We're here on the roof of the world in the land of the Himalayas for the Festival of the Himalayas. It's the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League, powered by Encel. Match number 5, the Lions, 8th and final team to come into action with a very good first innings. The reason why they've had a good first innings is they won the toss. Their captain, Rohit Paudel, chose to bowl first, and in general they controlled the vast majority of it. A little cameo from Saif Zaib was part of a very impressive partnership that was worth 41. It came off just 17 deliveries alongside Ravi Bopara. There was 21-2 for Kushal Malla. Let's get a look at Ravi Bopara's 50. He's the first man to go past 100 runs in this year's second edition of the season. He loves coming to Nepal. He loves batting here. And I'll tell you something, he's having a fantastic year. As good as he ever was at the age of 50, he took a real liking to Darcy Short in particular. 7 boundaries altogether, 4 fours and 3 sixes. Bowlers, well, the 7 wickets were shared between 3 of them. Ruben Trumpelman, Abhishek Gautam and Lumbini Naeeb. But I actually thought Sher Malla in many ways was the pick of the bowlers. His mystery spin proved very difficult to get away. His economy rate at just 5.25. Just been joined by Fazal Khalil here. Fazal, going to get a look at all 7 of the wickets. This was a very professional performance, starting with that opening wicket of Dawood Malan from the Lumbini Lions.
Well, they came out here with a plan. They won the toss, elected to field first. And when you do that, you want to pick up wickets early. They were reduced to 3 down for next to nothing. And it was left to Bopara to come to the rescue. And then they really played well in those middle overs. I really was happy with the way they batted, and some really outstanding fielding by the Lions, reducing them to that score of 142. But I tell you what, Andrew, 142 on a pitch like this will take some getting.
Yeah, it's hard to judge, isn't it? Because we did see some turn in that first innings. We know how good a bowling attack that the Rhinos have. The likes of Sohail Tanvir will be to the fore. Absolutely. I really like Kamal Singh Iree as a young cricketer. He's come back from that horror show injury, of course. And then Kushal Malla himself, a clever canny bowler, and he'll have the support of Saif Zaib and Ravi Bopara to go alongside it. We do make the Lions favourites though, despite their lack of wins last year. You just look at the depth of their batting. I'm looking forward to seeing particularly Dilip Nath and see where he will be used, left-hander. Will it be up at the top alongside Darcy Short, or will they drop him maybe down the order? Sandeep Jora too, he had some very big roles to play, including that career best against the West Indies in Sharjah during the Unity Cup.
Yes, I do get the feeling that the Lumbini Lions have a little bit of an edge, but I tell you what, running 66 or 56 deliveries, a batsman of that caliber taking his time to get those runs clearly tells me, and it's an indicator that the pitch is not really playing the way it did in the last 3 days. So you're going to have to dig your heels really deep in and score the runs. You're not going to come there. You have to work for those runners.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, and the fact that you look at his strike rate through that innings, 66 off 55 at about 120. The vast majority of that innings he was striking at less than 100. The floodlights pulsing means we're nearly ready to go. They are world class. Sohail Tanvir, Ravi Bopara, guys like them who played all over the world. They are saying that these are as good as they've seen. 3,400 looks is the information they've been given. Lighting up the beautiful night sky, and the fans loving the light show that's being put on here. Look at that for a sight. Stunning.
I haven't seen anything like this. I've done broadcast for some time now, but that visual is a treat to the eyes, isn't it? And then the Chobar Hills there, now of course in darkness, the city of Kirtipur, and then you come on there, the Doom. And I say interesting because if there is no dew, that's the caveat. If there is no dew, it's going to be an interesting run chase, because they have some of the finest bowlers coming on to bowl now, especially in those first 6 overs. So the Lions will need to take full toll of those first 6 overs, because that is when the lacquer and the shine on the ball will bring the ball onto the bat. Oh, she's enjoying herself as much as we are, isn't she? Smiles all around. Andrew is smiling from cheek to cheek. But yeah, just getting back to the point that I was trying to make, Andrew. They'll have to make use of those first 6 overs, because that's where the lacquer and the shine is on the ball, and that's when it'll come on to the bat, and they need to really make those 6 overs count.
Look at the swagger on this man, Kushal Malla. Collar up, a little word or two, a friendly one no doubt to his national teammate Sandeep Jura. There's not many more popular men around the Nepal national team than Kushal Malla. Don't know exactly what it is, but he has got it. Captain Cool vibe. Sandeep Jura, it's going to be to open the batting. It won't be Dilip Nath. Maybe he'll be held back. Don't want to go with the 2 left-handers up at the top, because he'll be opening the batting alongside the Australian import. That is Darcy Short, who will be at the non-strikers end. An expensive final over. 21 coming from the last over that he bowled has proved very costly and meant that the Lions will need 143 to win. He's known as a devastating hitter of the ball. Did play against Nepal actually this year in that top end T20 tournament that was held down in the Northern Territory in Australia. From memory, not with great success either, as Nepal were playing against the likes of Pakistan A, Bangladesh A, and plenty of Big Bash select sides down there. And it will be Sohail Tanvir to open the batting. He was playing over it in Gloucestershire this summer. Darcy Short, predominantly a white ball gig. I will correct myself, he actually made 51 against Nepal for that Northern Territory strike team. He was the player of the match, so he did anything but have no success. He had real success as the Northern Territory strike beat Nepal by 42 runs down there. We're nearly all set. You can see the distances between the fielders there. Here comes Sohail Tanvir. And an immediate edge, but it's an edge that will race to the rope. If there were 2 slips in place, it would be none for 1. Instead, it's 4 for none.
Well, that's a boundary that will do Jora a world of good. This confidence will be now going up as we see in the Encel Super 4. Might be tempted to bring in that second slip because they need the wickets. And as we speak, he's brought in that second slip.
It's that old saying, after the horse has bolted through the stable door, it's too late to close it. The damage has been done, but maybe that will create a wicket opportunity. Hard from Tanvir, good movement across the right-hander. So he tries to counteract that movement and does it very effectively. A flying start for the Lions. Not quite going to get to the rope, but Jora's so quick he will get back very comfortably for 3.
Well, I like this game plan. I like the way he's come out there. He's come out there attacking the superstar bowler Sohail Tanvir, coming down the track, taking him on. Yeah, that's the way you need to do it in the first 6 overs. I repeat once again, it's when the lacquer and the shine is on.